People say heartbreak feels like a slow burn, but mine felt like someone pulled the ground out from under me and smiled while I fell. It happened on a Thursday evening. I still remember the smell of coffee in that small cafe, the one she loved, the same place where she once held my hand and whispered, "I don't need anything else as long as I have you." Funny how words can rot so quickly. "Arham, we need to talk." Those four words, cold, distant, like I was just another stranger sitting across from her. I forced a smile. That doesn't sound good. She didn't smile back. Her fingers were wrapped around her cup, but she wasn't drinking, just staring at the steam like she was rehearsing something in her head. "I think we should end this." Just like that. No hesitation, no pause, no emotion. I laughed not because it was funny, because my brain refused to accept it. "And what the joke?" I tried. "No, us. The word us. I hope you understand someday," she whispered. "No," I replied, "I don't think I will." She stood up. And just like that, she walked out of my life. No tears, no turning back, no regret. I sat there for a long time. Long enough for the coffee to go cold. Long enough for reality to settle in. She didn't just leave me. She replaced me. The days that followed were ugly. I stopped answering calls, ignored messages, work felt meaningless, sleep became a stranger. Everywhere I went, I saw her. Her laughter, her voice, her promises. And then came the social media posts. Pictures of her and him. Luxury restaurants, expensive gifts, smiles that looked too perfect. "Upgrade," someone had commented. I stared at that word longer than I should have. Upgrade. Like I was just a broken version. I closed the app. That night, my best friend Hamza showed up uninvited. "You look like hell," he said, walking in. "Thanks, I mew." Success doesn't knock twice. It either walks into your life quietly or crashes in when you least expect it. For me, it came in the form of that email. I almost ignored it. But something, maybe pride, maybe desperation, made me show up to that meeting. And that decision, it changed everything. The office building was massive. Glass walls, polished floors, people in suits walking like they owned the world. I felt out of place. But I walked in anyway. Mr. Arham, the receptionist, smiled. "Yes, they're expecting you." I followed her into a conference room where three men were already seated. One of them stood up. "I'm Faris. We've been looking forward to meeting you." We shook hands. "I've read your proposal," he continued. "It's bold, risky, but brilliant." I blinked. Brilliant. No one had ever used that word for me before. "We want to fund it," he added. My heart skipped a beat. "You mean invest?" "Yes, but on." The moment I didn't see coming. We were invited to a high-profile business event. Big names, big deals, the kind of place where reputations are made. I stood there in a tailored suit, holding a glass of something expensive, talking to people who now respected me. It felt surreal. Enjoying the attention, Hamza nudged me. "Still getting used to it," I admitted. And then, I saw her. Time didn't slow down. It stopped. She stood across the room, dressed in elegance, laughing at something someone said. Zayn was beside her. Of course he was. He looked exactly how I imagined, confident, polished, the kind of man who never had to struggle. Her eyes scanned the room. And then they landed on me. For a second, she didn't react. Like her brain refused to process what she was seeing. Then her expression changed. Shock, confusion, and something else. Regret. Arham Hamza followed my gaze. Oh. I took a slow sip of my doctor. I stared at the city lights. A strange feeling settled in my chest. Not pain, not anger, something else. Control. For the first time, I had the upper hand. But I didn't know yet that she wasn't done. And the next move she made would change everything again. There's something people don't understand about karma. It doesn't always come loud. Sometimes it waits. It watches. And when the moment is right, it hits so perfectly that you don't even see it coming. After that night, I thought it was over. We saw each other. She saw what I had become. That was enough. Or at least that's what I believed. Until she called me. I was in my office when my phone lit up with an unknown number. I almost ignored it. But something told me not to. Hello. A pause. Then her voice. Arham, it's me. Of course it was. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the ceiling. I figured. I hope I'm not disturbing you. You are. Those words once had the power to fix everything. Now, they barely moved me. I don't, I replied. Silence. Heavy, crushing silence. I deserved that, she whispered. Yes, I said simply. Days passed after that call. But something had shifted. She didn't stop. Messages, calls, apologies. At first, I ignored them. Then one day, I didn't. Not because I wanted her back, but because I wanted closure. Real closure. We met again. Same cafe. Same table. Different people. She looked tired. Not physically. Emotionally. You came, she said, almost surprised. I said I would. She nodded. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she took a deep breath. I ended things with him. I raised an eyebrow. That was fast. It wasn't sudden, she replied. It's been falling apart for a while. And now I want to fix what I broke. I leaned back, studying her face. This wasn't the confident girl who walked. Because I disappeared. But because I grew. I stood up. This is goodbye, I said. Arham, please. I stopped her with a look. Take care of yourself. And then I walked away. Just like she once did. But this time, there was no emptiness. No regret. No looking back. Months later, life moved on. Bigger projects, bigger opportunities. Peace. Real peace. One evening, I ran into Hamza again. Ever think about her? He asked casually. I smiled slightly. Sometimes. And I looked at the horizon. I hope she found what she was looking for. And you. I took a deep breath. I already did. Because in the end, karma didn't just teach her a lesson. It gave me something better. Not revenge, not anger, but growth. And sometimes, that's the most powerful comeback of all. A year later, I didn't expect to see her again. Life had moved on, bigger deals, international clients, the kind of life she once held. Never found myself. She nodded slowly. Goodbye, she said. Goodbye. And this time, it really was. As I walked toward my gate, I didn't look back. Not because I was avoiding something, but because there was nothing left to go back to. Some stories don't end with people together. Some end with people becoming who they were meant to be. And that's a different kind of happy ending. Because in the end, she chased a better life and lost a real one. I lost her and found everything. And karma, it didn't just return the favor. It rewrote the entire story.